like comic books?
Comic books.
Comic books.
Comic books.
Comic books.
I'm quite keen on comic books.
Movies.
Movies.
The movies. Stupid TV shows. TV shows.
But what are some of your favorite TV shows?
Can be enjoyed as video games, as TV shows, books, movies, the entire world. Wholeheartedly embrace the apocalypse. Let's start the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday edition of the Next Issue podcast, where we're mainly going to talk about the comic books that we have read this week. Maybe a few more things. Stay tuned till the end. We will be checking out.
First off, was that weak ass man actor Paul Dano that you've put in our intro?
That was Paul Dano, indeed.
The weakest man.
That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I haven't even looked into what he said at all because I was like, that's dumb and stupid.
Yeah.
We're talking about Quinten Tarantino having some things to say. I don't know. Was it like a podcast or an interview?
I think it was an interview, or like a print article interview, but I haven't really looked into it either. I don't know if this was just an unprovoked, like, by the way, let me tell you what I think about this random person.
Wild. I did see. I saw a post that we need to stop allowing creatives that are, that just because they are good at doing what they do, that doesn't give them license to just be assholes.
Yeah.
And look, I love Quentin Tarantino's films, and I definitely would love to be going to watch Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, but that doesn't give him license to like crap on someone else. Or I think
Paul Dano. Do you think Paul Dano did not let him look at his feet one day, and then Quentin Tarantino was like, "Nah, now I'll get you, Dano."
Well, I don't know if you saw. I think because of that, there's a little clip going around of Maya Hawke. She was with in the what's it called? In the Amy Poehler podcast, Good Hang. I think.
Yeah,
it was in there a couple weeks ago talking about because Stranger Things season 5 is coming out, and she's like, she was in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood film that Quentin Tarantino directed. So Amy asked Maya, like, and Maya, for those that don't know, I guess, Maya Hawke is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. So she's like, did your mom, Uma, have any advice for you to, working with Quentin? And she immediately bursted out with like, don't let her see your feet. Like, immediately. Quentin, what is the saying? Don't throw stones in glass houses or something like that. So yeah, man, don't be like, I don't know what he gains from talking crap about Paul Dano. I think he also said something about like Martin Scorsese hasn't made a good film since 2004 or something like that, which will tie back into something that we'll talk about a little bit later in one of the things that I saw. So, but yeah, before we get on with the show, let me throw in some quick plugs first. If you missed our live yesterday, we had our special guest, friend of the show, and
Paul
friend.
Dano.
Oh. Yeah, Paul Dano. Paul Dano was on the show. Our friend Jack. Jeff and I actually both know Jack personally. He runs a comic shop locally, and he came on the show because we were talking about what are comic publishers doing right, and most importantly, what are they doing wrong. So we got to see it from multiple levels of the distribution to like consumer and all that, because obviously he deals with a lot of that. Jeff's worked at a comic shop prior. Josh worked at a comic shop a long time ago. And I mean, I'm at a comic shop so often that they might as well pay me to be there. So, and then of course, Clay, we've been reading comics forever. So yeah, go check that out. It was a really fun conversation. We talk a little bit about some of the news, like the HBO acquisition by Warner, and then speculate on that. We talk about Scarlett Johansson joining the Batman cast. So yeah, quite fun conversation. I had a good time with the gang.
I don't want to oversell it, but I do think that we solved all the problems of the comic book industry.
I think so. Like at least like at least the top 10 that they should have at the top of the board, like we addressed them.
Yeah.
But
Listen,
we gave them
if there are any
too.
publishers out there,
Yeah,
we've given you, go and look at the thing yesterday. Go and we've given you multiple $1 million ideas.
we are
Just
available
throwing
for
them out there.
consulting.
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
be like
yeah.
that consulting firm that told HBO Max to change their name,
Yeah.
just Max, and then a few years later, the same firm told them to change it back to HBO Max. We could do that for you. Let's just drop the comics, DC.
Marvel used to have their Max line. Marvel Max, bring it back.
Oh, Marvel Max. DC Max, that's never been done.
Nope, DC Max has not been done.
It reminds me of that line from The Social Network where that Napster guy, played by Justin Timberlake, tells them like, drop the just Facebook. It's cleaner. It's like, I love the idea that it's like, people think it's like a genius move, and it's just like, no, that's the simplest thing in the world. Like, I don't know.
DC, what if we drop the D and then you're just C?
Ooh, comics.
Comics.
Drop the Batman. Sell off the Batman. Cash in while you
Sell
can.
off the Batman.
Cash in while it's still hot.
Do you think Netflix will sell us Batman?
Not to us particularly, but what we should do is, as a society, pull our money together and have a kind of a Batman co-op.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we can license the Batman.
A Batman timeshare. You know,
yeah, I like it.
We get it for a few weeks a month, or a few weeks a year. The Batman's all yours to do whatever you want with it. All right. Let's dive into it. And I was talking about, we're going to talk about what we've been watching, and then we're going to comics. And then, of course, stay tuned because we'll check out our pick of the week, and then we'll go through our pull list. We'll find out if Jeff has finally followed me back on League of Comic Geeks.
One of these days.
We'll even see if he's added a profile picture. You know, you could put like a superhero there. It doesn't have to be your picture, Jeff.
I've been playing around in the League of Comic Geeks for like, I was a good 15 minutes earlier this week, so I did notice that some people have actual pictures up there.
Since we are talking about that,
people were commenting.
Might as well plug our stuff here. So both Jeff and I are on League of Comics. One thing I've been doing, and hopefully this will drive traffic into the channel itself, because there's a feature. Well, yeah, I guess it's like a normal forum, right? Where you can. So this is me, Echo Spider, joined since 2019. Holy moly, that's a long time. And what I've been doing is all the reviews that I do for the week, I'm dropping the links here.
Nice. Smart.
So yeah, hopefully that brings in traffic. Now, I will say it doesn't just let you drop a link. Like, you have to write down a little blurb, at least 200 characters long, which makes sense so that people aren't just spamming their stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see, I mean, this is all the stuff that we're going to talk about it in a second. And then you can earn.
It's weird that every single one of yours is 200 words of comics make Danny a good boy. Comics make Danny a good boy.
All comics. All pictures, no words make Danny a good boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what I'm aiming for is that you can start getting these badges.
Oh,
and
badges.
Like little things. So right now I only have 2. Or I guess I'm only eligible for these 2. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if people like enough of your reviews, or if you leave enough reviews, like there's different badges that I was looking at that you can earn. So that should be fun. But all right. Let's start talking. Where's the other setup? Here we go. I think that's it. Yep. Let's talk about what we've been watching. And I mentioned Martin Scorsese earlier in the comments that Quinten Tarantino had. And I was like, there's no way. And somebody in one of the discords that I'm part of, the 7mm podcast Discord, big shout out to the VHS Village, somebody mentioned The Departed. And I was like, oh man, I haven't seen that movie in forever. And I love The Departed. So I put it on because it's on. I actually own it on my, It's on my Apple library. I don't remember how I got it. Maybe I bought the Blu-ray and it came with a digital. Um, Man, I love The Departed. It is as close to a perfect film as I think it gets. I just really, really enjoy it. So I don't know if you have you seen that ever or recently or at all?
I saw it in the theater. I maybe seen it since a couple, maybe once or twice since the theater, maybe once. Uh, and then parts and bits and pieces, like when I've caught it on TV or whatever. But
Yeah, it
yeah, it's
definitely
great.
shows up on TBS or TNT a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, such a good film. And it was funny to discover one of the intros that we have today where you hear the man say to the kid, "Oh, you like comic books?"
Mhm.
That's from The Departed.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was because I used it using a website that just kind of gives you like I was just looking for the word comic books and movies, and it brings the clips up for you. But I was looking at it. That's Jack Nicholson telling a young Matt Damon, like, "Oh, do you like comic books?" And then he buys him a whole bunch of stuff, and then that's kind of how he brings him under his wing or whatever. So yeah,
So if
The
you want to get
Departed is
into
great.
comics, find yourself a mob boss.
That's right. They
They'll
don't.
buy you anything.
You don't hear about mob bosses as much as they used to. I don't think it's a
It's because
dying
they don't buy
art.
comics anymore.
It's yeah, I guess that's it's definitely a dying art.
Yeah.
The mob boss shakedown.
If I could make an addendum to yesterday's show of how to improve the comic book industry, one would be
Okay,
bring mob bosses back.
bring them back. Can you
Yeah,
imagine
bring the mafia back.
if they could do for the olive oil industry? I mean, for the comic industry, what they did for the olive oil industry. But
Well,
then I
back in
guess
the day, so here's some fun publication history because they were kind of intrinsically tied to the magazine business. So way back in the day when the comics were distributed by the same people that distributed magazines, like they did work with the mafia because that was how they got around moving product was they would put it in the magazine truck. So they all had distribution networks that would drive the booze or whatever it is they were trafficking, and they would just stick it in the secret compartment of the truck behind all the magazines and comics and stuff. So there was kind of a mafia comic book tie back in the day through the distribution of comics.
I need Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips to write that story.
That would be an amazing Brubaker Phillips story.
Can you
like
imagine
some kind
that?
of mafia
Even if it's like a little
story.
criminal one shot or something, I think that'd be really cool. I remember reading that Al Capone got caught because he was reading comic books in the toilet instead of doing his taxes. And that's how they got him.
100%.
That's how they got him.
He was like, I was going to do my taxes, but
Have you read the latest issue of Superman? He got a monkey.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jeff, I'm gonna throw it to you. What did you watch? We'll go back and forth on this because you watched a few things this week.
I don't have anything that I've watched, or I just don't present anything during the watch segment.
Sure.
But I did find a few things that I think are interesting enough to provide to the greater internet. Both two of them are from YouTube. One is a YouTube channel called Ants Canada. It doesn't even take place in Canada. I guess the guy is Canadian, but he moved down to South America at some point. Stolen Valor. He creates these giant vivariums. So these like 10-foot by like 5-foot like not cages, but like glass houses with like a full-on environment on the inside. Self-contained environment, and then he puts a bunch of ants and bugs and stuff just to see how they all interact in this like encased biosphere. And he started off as just like an ant colony guy. So he had these huge ant colonies. They got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then as they got bigger, he started introducing different kind of bugs and stuff. And he got really into like just how everything started interacting with one another. So now he's creating these giant vivariums, and he had an invasive ant species start attacking one of his vivariums, like from the outside of his house. They found a way into his house, into the vivarium. These black little soldier ants, and they started like decimating everything in the colony. So he took a secondary colony of ants from one of his other tanks and introduced him into the tank where the black ants were attacking. And he's kind of set up this, the comic Bug Wars. He's basically set up Bug Wars in his vivarium, where two of these ant colonies are going to war with one another over land. The first, so he's got a whole bunch of you,
and he's the kid.
The one specifically,
he's the kid that comes to help out the good guys.
Yeah, exactly. So he's introduced his friendly ants into the colony to try to beat back the black ants. And whenever he sees the black ants, he tries to like kick them out. Like, so he sealed up where they were coming in. He found out where they were coming in from. He sealed them up, and he has this little ant vacuum, and he vacuums them up when he sees them. But he can't like introduce like any kind of ant killer, because he'll kill other things in the vivarium. So he has to go in and like physically kill the ants, or have them fight against this other colony. But it was such the collateral damage would be too big. So it's very much like watching, any kind of other nature documentary, except whereas most nature documentaries are like, we've stumbled upon this. He's created the thing, and now he's trying to solve it like an ant god that he is. Super interesting. You get to watch all the ants eat other things and stuff like that. And
I would imagine it's pretty well, like the quality's pretty good, because I don't think that would be engaging if it wasn't well edited and like it looked good.
Yeah, this guy definitely has money to spend on cameras, and there's definitely great. It's not a fly-by-night project. There's a lot of production involved in this and whatever he's doing.
Does he have an ant
cam? Does he have an ant cam? Cam. He's got Paul. He needs Paul Rudd is what he definitely needs to come in and host. But yeah, there's like little ants. He's not. It's been able to attach a tiny GoPro to an ant though. Not yet.
We don't have the technology yet. All right,
we don't have that kind of technology yet.
Cool.
But definitely, it's called Ants Canada. Look it up if you get a chance. Anybody watching this, it is definitely super interesting and intriguing, and
is it
action packed?
Is it episodic, or is it like a bunch of like little snippets of like?
It's definitely it's episodic. He's definitely going through. So there's a whole bunch of he's built like 3 or 4 of these tanks, and I guess I've only started watching this one, but each one does seem to be a little episodic season of how he's built the tank and then what's going on inside the tank. There's a couple of videos that are like named like these ants got into a fight or whatever, like battle in my vivarium or whatever. But this one seems to be the biggest, longest episodic one, where he's like, this is taking a few episodes. Like, we're still not done with it. Like, he uploaded a new one earlier this morning. I haven't had a chance to watch yet. So he's still trying to get rid of these ants. So
I had never heard the word vivarium, and I was like, what the hell is Jeff saying? So I did look it up while you were talking. So
I hadn't either until it's like a giant terrarium.
Yeah. That's the word I'm more familiar with. So I imagine it's probably some kind of Canada thing. Them using different words.
My guess is that the vivarium is just so much larger. Like a terrarium is like a fish tank size, but like the vivariums are like human people size.
So you're saying in next season he'll start putting humans in his vivarium.
Yeah. It's gonna be like one of those fancy hotels that you go to where you just see somebody in a glass box just hanging out, like for entertainment.
Oh, that'd be creepy. Even if I knew I was enclosed, that it was all enclosed, like just knowing. I
had a friend in LA that did that. Like, her job was, I think it was in a restaurant though, or it was like a weird LA thing where they just like, you get hired as a model and you hang out in this tiny box in the middle of a restaurant for like 3 hours, and then somebody comes and replaces you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna have to check out, see if we have one of those in Dallas.
That's what she's like. Yeah, you just sit in there and you just read a book. That's all you do. You just don't really do anything. You don't interact with the people or whatever. They might wave, you wave back, and that's about it. You just kind of hang out in there.
You snarl at them.
Yeah.
I would put in a character. Like maybe I was lost in the woods and I was raised by wolves, and now I've been brought in from captivity or into captivity.
I'd be like, have you guys read Captain America 300? That's what I would be. It's like banging on the thing.
No way. The Santa Claus is it? He knows Batman. Whoa.
yeah, giving them all the lore.
All right. Speaking of Santa Claus, it is that time of the year where all these streaming services are putting out a bunch of holiday themed films, but they're not all about romance anymore. They're all about being weird and interesting. And I love a good heist. And as I was perusing on Netflix, I saw a movie called Jingle Bell Heist. So I put it on. I think the movie's fine. It's about these two people that they want to rob a department store in London. Well, they want to rob the owner of the department store. So you definitely have to jump through a lot of mind hoops as to like, first of all, I guess department stores can be owned by one rich person as opposed to like a giant corporation, which I don't know, maybe that's the case still around. The other thing that I thought was really not funny, but at least interesting is that one of the motivations for the guy is that he needs money because he was wrongfully convicted of something and he wants to set up a place for his daughter, but obviously nobody wants to hire him because he's a convict. The other thing is that the girl, her mom has cancer, so she needs money to get her treatment. And I'm like, man, a lot of these movies would not exist if we just had like universal healthcare and like can you imagine George Clooney wouldn't need to do a heist if there was a universal basic income?
We need capitalism to keep Christmas alive.
Yeah.
We need ruthless capitalism to keep Christmas alive.
But once I got past that, I was like, the movie's fine. I think it's funny enough. It has a really wild twist that came out of nowhere at the end, which I guess any good any heist movie should have. Which I won't spoil here. But yeah, it's fun enough if you have Netflix and you're looking for something. I think it clocks in at almost 2 hours. And it stars Olivia Holt, who I've seen in something before, and I really like her. So I think she's very charismatic. I think she's gonna go. That kid's gonna go places,
I feel like that name sounds familiar. I don't know why though.
It's got to be on the. I guess you don't have Netflix right now, right? No, you do because you're watching Stranger Things. Yeah, it's on the front page of Netflix. It's like the top 4 or 5 movie.
I'm as a Christmas person, like I love the Christmas season. I am actively looking for. I'm always looking at what the new Christmas movies are. I did almost watch it the other day. I didn't. I ended up watching Elf because I needed a standard holiday classic at the moment. So
there's one called Champagne Christmas or something like that I think it's also on Netflix, where like this woman goes to Italy to claim her inheritance in this champagne state or something, and of course it's like, oh, she meets a boy, and like that one definitely feels like a true like a true rom-com or a romantic more Christmas holiday thing. So that might be next. Nothing will compare to the stripper Christmas movie from last year, though. Not stripper, burlesque.
But burlesque one, I remember that. Yeah, for me, the best Netflix Christmas movie is Christmas Chronicles, that came out years ago. Actually, that's the one with Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, where he's Santa Claus, right?
Yeah. So that's by far my favorite Netflix Christmas movie. I like the Netflix Christmas movies are fine. Like they started off really trying to emulate Hallmark.
Yeah.
And then they've kind of pivoted a little bit away from that to kind of do their own thing. I still think Hallmark have the best year-to-year Christmas movies. Every year, my biggest struggle is not subscribing to Hallmark Plus for like a month of Christmas movies, like just cheesy romantic, like will Rachel Boston find love this year? I don't know.
Yeah. Netflix seems to like they started trying to get in that same territory, and they're like, why don't we do other genres of these movies? That feels
Yeah.
like they pivoted to, or maybe they just saw people started approaching them with like, hey, you want Christmas movies? Like, I got one, but it's not a straight up, romance film. So
They definitely pivoted to pivot. So Hallmark is like the chaste romantic love
yeah,
kind of thing, and then they were like, well, what if they were burlesque dancers, and what if we did a hot frosty where he's
what
like
if
topless
they?
half of the yeah. Like Hallmark kind of insinuates that they might kiss at some point. What if we insinuate that they're banging halfway through the movie? Yeah.
One of my favorite how did this get made episodes is when they talk about, and this is not a Hallmark movie, it's an ABC family movie, but Holiday in Handcuffs. It's Melissa Joan Hart
Oh
kidnaps
yeah.
what's his name? Oh, what's his name from
Is it Mario
Saved by the Bell?
Lopez?
Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
See, I
that's
know
one
my
of my
Christmas
I've
movies.
never seen the actual film, but I listened to that. They release that episode every holiday on their matinee. So yeah. So
I should watch that and listen to the episode.
yep. What else? What else do you have, Jeff?
There's another YouTube show that I watched, or a little YouTube video I watched. She's an internet comedian. She's mostly on TikTok. Grace Ryder, I think is how you say her name. She had a birthday. She's like a young 20-something-year-old, but she had a birthday and she rented a cabin out in the woods somewhere, invited all her friends, and they remade the movie Hunger Games. They call it Hunger Games in parentheses, but better. And so they just took their cameras out to the woods and they recreated Hunger Games from memory with all her comedian friends.
Perfect.
And it is the most ridiculous, funniest thing I've seen. It is probably better than the original Hunger Games, but there's a lot of, it's like so melodramatic and them just being silly and making fun of the movie. It's very much worth the watch. And it's, just a bunch of friends. It would be like if you and I tried to recreate a movie.
It's the first thing that pops up when you Google Grace's name, and I was like, okay, it looks quality. If you're gonna do a parody, you gotta make it look good.
Yeah.
Or really bad. There's no in between.
Or really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is done with love. You can tell.
Yeah. So I might check that out because I'm in a Hunger Games vibe. I just finished listening to the first book, and I don't want to run through all the books very quickly, so might check that out.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay. The last thing I watched, and then I'll let you get in the last couple things you have. I was also, like I said, I was on Netflix. Actually, all these movies. Well, not The Departed, but somebody mentioned on somewhere. I was online something, and somebody mentioned Zodiac, and I was like, "Oh man, I haven't watched that in a while." And I know I like it. I like David Fincher. I like everybody that's part of this film, and I'm always intrigued because I never remember the end. Like, did they ever catch this person? Or like, I wish they would do like an update every year of like, we still don't got him. We still don't got him.
Like those Marvel shorts, they just invite the cast back for these movies where they're just like,
yeah. But man, it's such a well-made movie. That it's so long though. I will say it's really long, but it's really, really good. And then I wanted to check out like, well, is there more? Like, because I know that those killings themselves inspired is a bad word, but I guess they led to other people making movies like about killers and stuff like that. So it was, because it was just a part of the pop culture. But the fact that this person or people, like all those killings went on for so long, it's insane. But one of the coolest things about the film is you kind of like seeing Jake Gyllenhaal lose his mind slowly over the years about this obsession. And then the way the film ends, like it all really kind of comes full circle. It's very, very cool. It's very, very cool. Like it's just such a good movie as well. So yeah. sometimes you just got to rewatch old movies. We're talking about rewatching old movies. This is something. The Departed and Zodiac are something I would go watch at the theater if they re-released it. So
I may.
Right.
I don't really have much more to watch, but I do want to talk about how I might go see Hamnet this week. The new movie.
I hear it's very
Hamnet.
sad.
That's what I hear. It's very sad as well.
So maybe do a Hamnet Elf double feature because Elf is right now probably playing it, at least at the Alamo for sure. So that might be the move.
Well, what I was thinking is watching Shakespeare in Love first, and then going to watch Hamnet. So they're both Hamnet. Hamnet is about how Shakespeare wrote. I think Hamlet. I guess I don't know which one he wrote. But it's kind of based on his real life story, a fictionalized version of like what happened around that time when he was trying to write Hamlet. Shakespeare in Love, the same thing, is kind of a much more romantic, lighthearted, fictionalized story of how Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet. But I think that you could probably watch these two movies in the same way that people watch Star Wars. What is that called? The different versions cut. The machete cut. So you could probably start watching Hamnet, like the first 20 minutes of Hamnet, then watch Shakespeare in Love in the middle, and then watch the end of Hamnet.
So that's another one of those that we were talking about that we can make our own little thing. Yeah, I really like Jessie Buckley, who's the star of that movie. I think she's great. She's gonna be the bride in that Bride movie that's coming out next year.
Oh yeah.
Like that insane Frankenstein, Bonnie and Clyde, whatever is gonna happen, whatever.
So what I'm mostly curious about is this Chloe Zhao, the director?
It's Chloe Zhao.
Is this the same Chloe Zhao that's
one of the Eternals is gonna show up?
Well, is this also the same as she's doing Buffy, isn't she? Isn't she doing Buffy, the Vampire Slayer reboot?
Oh, the TV show? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's Chloe Zhao too.
Oh, maybe. Paul Mescal is in this too. So,
and Paul Mescal's in it.
I can tell it's gonna be. Oh yeah, that's gonna be sad for sure.
Every single commercial or advertisement I've seen for it is very British. Like I did not know. My roommates went and saw it, and they had to tell me what it's about, because every ad is just like two British people looking at each other. And I don't know if you've ever seen that Eddie Izzard bit where he's just like, he pretends to be an English movie, and it's an English guy walking in a room and going oh, blah, 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 and the other guy's like blah, 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 and they don't really say anything. They just stare at each other. I'm like, that's every single scene that I've seen from this movie is Paul Mescal walks in on what's her name, and they just kind of stare at each other. Nothing happens. So
Chloe Zhao has a movie on Letterboxd called Dracula. It's just the description is a futuristic sci-fi western take on the iconic character. It has no release date or anything. It's just there in the ether.
Oh, wow.
And I'm actually pretty intrigued. But I guess it wouldn't show up on Letterboxd if it's Buffy, because that's a TV thing. So if that movie, the other movie on Netflix that I kind of want to watch, and I started the other day, but I was like, I'm not in the mood for this, is that Jay Kelly movie with George Clooney and Adam Sandler. What I did in the watching was the actor and actors thing that Adam Sandler did with Ariana Grande, which is quite a pairing. They always find really interesting pairings. But they have a lot more in common than you would think. They both work with Ben Stiller, because Ariana Grande is in that new, what is it? Whatever the new Meet the Fockers movie is going to be.
I didn't know there was a new one.
Yeah, there's the one where I think one of the kids is bringing his girlfriend home, and Ariana Grande plays the girlfriend. So yeah, I really like that. If you have the time, it's like 40 minutes. Adam Sandler's been when he did that, I guess he was recovering from like a cold or a cough. So every time that he coughs, Ariana Grande is like, "Are you all right? Do you need something?" Like, she's just kind of very present of the fact that maybe maybe he's not okay to do this, but Adam Sandler kind of powers through it. So it's really funny, and it really is all about like hearing them compliment each other of like how good their work is. So, but it did make me want to watch Jay Kelly. So I might, if my plan is to go to the theater today to watch the new Jujutsu Kaisen movie, the anime, or Wake Up Dead Man, depending on the time, that the Ryan Johnson film about Benoit Blanc, which I hear is really good.
I would like to see it. I don't know what's showing at my.
The Alamo has it, so maybe check your local Alamo. I know we have different Alamos.
I have an Alamo, whatever their Fast Pass is called, so I might need to go to a different Alamo than my local one. My local Alamo is not very good at having good stuff.
Which one's yours? Which one's the closest one to you? The
Lake Highlands.
Lake Highlands? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not as good. I think the one on Abrams is a little better.
I feel like the Richardson one is really good at having a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because that one has what do they call their big screen, the big show or whatever. So yeah, mine's normally pretty good. The one in Las Colinas isn't bad. They don't have any bigger screens or anything like that, but they do try to put in a lot of those special events. I know they have both movies there, so depending on the time, I'll go to either AMC to watch anime. Because Wake Up Dead Man comes out next Friday on Netflix, so it might be worth just waiting to stay at home. We'll see.
I would, if I had to leave my business job for getting back into doing public, I'd be like, can I replace the Lake Highlands manager? Sorry, Lake Highlands manager, if you're a fan, but order more movies. This is what's showing at the Lake Highlands. This is a very specific. If you're today, where's today? Today at Lake Highlands, they are showing Zootopia 2, Wicked for Good, Five Nights at Freddy 2, Rental Family, Elf, Running Man, Family. Jujutsu Kaisen. That's it. Oh, Eternity.
They're not showing Now You See Me, Now You Don't?
Nope.
Wow, that movie just came out. Yeah, see, my theater has all those movies. Maybe they have more. Maybe they have more screens, but they have an Elf movie party at 12:30. Then they have Saturday Night Fever at 3:30, and they have Wake Up Dead Man, the Knives Out movie. And did you say Five Nights at Freddy's? You did, right?
Yeah, we got Five Nights.
They do have Eternity as well. I do want to watch Eternity, but I feel like that's a wait for streaming movie for me. All right. Anything else?
You and the Netflix guy.
Anything else you watch? I know people love this. This is now your movie phone. Hi, you've called the movie phone. Please type in the comments the movie that you're looking for.
Did I see anything else? No, the only other thing I watched was this was a big hit last year, I think, and it's now on Amazon Prime. Going back to the Hallmark Christmas stuff, Hallmark last year had a competition reality show for a bunch of dudes competing to get into a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Okay.
And it caught on like hotcakes in a couple of different, especially the gays loved it last year. It's really cheesy. It's really dumb. And it's super fun because these are all like model types. Some of them have done like community theater. So it's very much based on what you look like, obviously, because you want to be a handsome hunk model for Hallmark in these movies. Sure. But you have to have like a little bit of acting chops, and some of these guys have zero acting chops because they're models. And so watching them do scene work as somebody who used to do acting is so entertaining. Watching these people cold read lines, just terrible cold reads. Like across, and they're doing it across like, pretty big Hallmark actors. Like they're, people that you would definitely recognize from like sitcoms of old and whatnot.
Who is the Simon Cowell of the Hallmark acting?
Who's the guy is, what's his name? They'll usually bring in the host is, I can't remember his name, but he's in a bunch of Hallmark movies.
Okay, I'll look
and then they'll bring in guest judges, like the female co-leads are usually who they swap around. The first one in the first episode was one of the aunts from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
The blonde one, the aunt.
Is it Finding Mr. Christmas?
Finding Mr. Christmas. Yes.
Oh, that guy looks familiar. And Jessica Lowndes, maybe.
Yeah, Lowndes.
Oh, Melissa Peterman's the judge, or one of the.
Melissa Peterman.
Yeah. She's the Simon Cowell.
She's the Simon Cowell.
You can see Melissa Peterman in Happy's Place on NBC with Reba.
Yes.
And Jonathan Bennett is the judge. I recognize them now that I see
Jonathan Bennett.
Very nice.
It's very entertaining because it's just a bunch of himbos like trying to act. Is always fun to watch.
Nice. All right. Anything else? Because I'm all out. I'm fresh.
I'm all out.
Ready to
talk about comics.
Let's talk about comics then. Moving on to comics. Before we get into comics for this week, do you have anything, Jeff, that you read that you caught up with from previous weeks?
You and I both read for Comic Book Club Avengers Twilight.
Correct.
I did revisit 4 Kids Walk into a Bank this week for a TikTok video I'm going to do.
Oh, okay.
Which I did not know is they're turning into a movie next year. Coming out into a movie next year.
They are.
Liam Neeson, of all people.
Oh, interesting.
They've aged. Yeah, he's playing the main kid.
We saw from Naked Gun that he can play a little girl. So
that was some test footage. I think they've aged the dad up into a grandpa is what the movie's done. So instead of in the comic, the girl is living with a single father, and I think in the movie they've turned it into she's like being raised by her grandfather, who is Liam Neeson. But outside of that, I don't know. That's the only thing I know about the movie. But I didn't even know there was a movie until I started doing some research on the book.
Nice.
I also revisited Avengers Red Zone. What is it called? Where is it? Here it is. This one. Avengers Red Zone. This is a 5-issue arc from Jeff Johns and Olivier Coipel.
Ooh.
Back in the day. It's really good.
Looks really cool.
Yeah. Jeff Johns, Olivia Coipel. It's just like it's a 5-issue little mini run in which there's a bio weapon that is released in right outside of Mount Rushmore in South Dakota, I think it is. And so the Avengers have to kind of come in and try to help everybody, but it's like in the air. So they're like, it's just wherever the wind's blowing it. So it's not something that they can punch.
Right.
So they have to try to evacuate people, and they're trying to find Iron Man and Black Panther trying to synthesize a kind of counter agent to this toxin. But the United States government because the Avengers are not with the U.S. government at the time. They're with their United Nations entity. So the United States government's like, leave us alone. We don't want anything to do with you guys. It's really good. It's a really good 5-issue story arc with a secret villain at the end.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which of the villains is the one that likes to fart.
It's Rhino.
Rhino. No, but he can't fart because he just stays stuck in the suit.
He has to like.
Yeah, he does have a little flap at the bottom. I kind of want to draw that now. Just the Rhino from behind with a little flap in his butt.
Little flap.
Okay. Well, let's get into comic books for this week. Now, I think you have more on your list, so I'll let you go first, and then I'll try to. I will say that looking at it, I read quite a few things, but because I didn't go to Titan this week, I actually haven't been able to pick up some of the things that I read, but I do have them on the list. So, what do you got? What do you got for us, Jeff?
You were right. I did end up picking up the Terminator.
I knew it.
Santa Claus is coming to town from the Terminator. It's cute. It's No, cute's not the right word for it, but it's entertaining. It's a charming little Terminator story.
It's really interesting. It's weird to think about of that, like, in a world where the machines have taken over and destroyed humanity, like, yeah, you would probably be asking people like, what was Christmas like and stuff like that, and that's one of the big things. But then you also have the Terminator nonsense, which is like
It just decides to dress up as Santa Claus because it's the first. The gist of the comic is that it takes place a few years after what Skynet
Judgment
takes
Day.
over
Yeah.
after Judgment Day, and so one of the younger resistance fighters is like, tell me about what Christmas was like, because they'd never grown up with Christmas.
Right.
So one of the older people is like, oh, we used to, just like throughout the comic explaining what Christmas was like back in the day, while this Terminator in a Santa Claus suit is chasing him down.
I still don't fully understand why it chose to dress up as Santa, but I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna question it too much. I don't care.
And put the beard on. It's the beard that just like, why would, like, maybe the Santa suit kind of like, if it's just saw a Santa suit on a thing and it just picked it up as pants or whatever, but we're not going to put the hat and the beard on too.
Yep. So yeah, that was really fun. I like I said, I want to go. I'm gonna pick it up probably next week now that the week's done for. I'm not allowed to go to comic book stores between Sunday and Wednesday, or before Wednesday. So but yeah, I love the book. We have a review for that on the channel if you want more of that. All right, I'm gonna go with, hold on, yeah, make sure I don't take your pick of the week. Oh yeah, DCKO Night Fight #2. What a fun, weird, wild comic book this is. First of all, Dan Mora's art is, Dan Mora drawing Batman in the Rain. I'll take that all day. Goodness.
Yeah.
So good. But then, we these 4 issues, we're gonna go through all 4 of the Batman, right? All the Robins becoming the Batman. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And then, you get to see, I like kind of the twists, I guess, if you want to call it that, of like how Jason as the Batman, what he has to do for Gotham and his own, because they all kind of, I guess, had to sacrifice or put something together. And then look at that, Dan Mora draw him like a silver fox.
By the end of this, you're gonna have a silver fox Dick drawing, a silver fox Jason, a slightly less silver fox Tim.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he'll still be a silver fox Tim. It's all fake or whatever anyway. But
yeah, Tim and Damian are younger, so we'll see how much. Damian for sure, he'll just be like in his 30s or something. He'll be Batman's age, I think.
Yeah.
But it's very cool. Very cool. I love this tie-in. I wouldn't say it's like a must read for the event, but I feel like you should read it because I feel like Batman's gonna come into play at the end again.
I agree. I think what they're doing well with this event is, because I've heard a lot of complaints, probably from younger or newer comic book readers, about how many tie-ins there are to this thing. To which a lot of responses are like, "Oh, first crossover event, huh?" Because some of the older ones.
What is that? This is that GIF? First time, huh? With James Franco on the news.
Yeah. Because I feel like they've done very well about letting you know, like, if you want this part of the story, you can read this tie-in, but it's not necessary to the whole thing. It's only if you're interested. So now I'm reading the Flash one, and I decided to.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I missed the first issue of the Titans tie-in, and they've got the second. The second issue and the reprint of the first issue are out, and I could get them, but I flipped through them at the shop, and I was just like, I think I can skip it. I think I'm okay with skipping that. And I missed the Aquaman one. I don't think I need to do that. Superman's already part of my pull, so I'm reading those.
You might want to check out here. That's a good segue maybe for one of your next comics if you want to talk about that. They're really good about letting you know, because December is fight month, right? Mm-hmm. All fight month, and they've been really good about showing you like Here's the fights that are going to happen. Here's the books that are going to happen in. These are the rounds. So we've only gotten round 1, which I'll let you talk about in a second. Which is Superman versus Captain Atom. But next week you're getting round 2 of Aquaman versus Hawkman, and then round 3 of Wonder Woman versus Lobo, which I have read both of those, but I won't go into details. Then Titans will have Cyborg versus Swamp Thing. So even if you missed the first part of the Titans thing, I think that was kind of a standalone story. You can probably just read Titans 30. And then they'll kind of go on from there. So yeah, I think we're gonna get all those fights before we get to DCKO 3.
I agree. And I'm very interested in the Wonder Woman Lobo, mostly because it's written by Joelle Jones, who I haven't read a lot of Joelle Jones lately. Like, it's been a while since I've read some Joelle Jones.
It's pretty bonkers because Lobo is unkillable, pretty much. So like, what the hell, like, So, and then of course Diana is Diana. So
yeah. Let's talk about this then. Is it my time? Is it my turn? Superman versus Captain Atom. This, along with Night Fight, they're doing something interesting because they talk about Night Fight. The reason Batman is in Night Fight is because he strapped a mother box to his chest and he cheated. And in Night Fight, he talks about how the heart of Apocalypse does not like cheating. So it's kind of put him in his own little virtual reality fight game. Yeah. And then here, Captain Atom gets accused of cheating in the thing as well. And Superman's like, oh, the heart of Apocalypse doesn't like cheating. So I feel like they've hit that in 2 different series now. So I'm wondering if that's not going to come back. But yeah, this was an interesting. There's not a lot of great Captain Atom stories or anything out that I'm aware of, so it's always fun to see him get some moments,
Although that Jenny Sparks book by Tom King, it's Black Label, so it's not like in continuity or whatever, but it has a really cool Captain Atom through line.
Well, in a weird way, it feels like that kind of helped inform this, because Captain Atom's like, you guys have no idea how powerful I can be, because and then they kind of it doesn't make reference to that book at all, but the power levels that he showed in that book, he starts to show in this book as well.
He's more closer to the Dr. Manhattan, which is the comic, the character he inspired. Now we have a question in the chat from Jada Gamer. Was it good? Yes, it was. If you like seeing, so a lot of these fights go to 3 rounds or whatever, so they get to do kind of fun things where it's like round 1, it's like one type of environment, and then they each kind of pick how they're gonna fight, and then they readjust that as for round 2. I think the way that this closes out, whatever Superman does, or after the cheating happens or whatever, I don't know exactly. It's kind of nebulous as to like how it all came together, but when you see that, the design that Superman gets for that last piece of the fight, it's very cool. It's very cool. It's really insane, bonkers stuff that I don't know where they're just having fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. I would say that some people like their comics to be gritty and serious and stuff. This is very much where I love it when comics do this. Dump the toys out, play with them like a little kid. Yeah. So this is somebody taking Captain Atom and Superman, just smashing them together for, 20 pages. And then at the end, you get a nice little comic book, ending kind of thing.
We talked a little bit about it yesterday on our show of like what comic books were doing right. I think one of the things DC is doing right is doing both. They have this nonsense event that's going on that's weird and wild and kind of just all over the place. But if you want something dark and gritty, they're also letting Herman Peralta do that Black Label story of Arcadia with Batman, the Question, and a Green Arrow. So like you can get both of them. Like if you don't like the goofy stuff, go read the gritty stuff and the Black Label stuff. So yeah, it's incredible. Okay. This week we got, I don't have too many left, I don't think, but we did get new Doctor Strange comic.
Yes.
I actually picked this up yesterday at when we went to Boomerang for a book club once again because I had not gone to Titan Comics. So, oh, you got the that Angela cover. Goodness gracious. If you haven't read Doctor Strange of Asgard, you might be a little confused as to what the hell's going on, but the book kind of catches you up on what you need to know. Bless you, because Derek Landy also wrote that series. That was the One World Under Doom tie-in. After Doctor Strange gets tricked out of being the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth during the events of Blood Hunt, he goes and asks Thor to be the Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard. So it's like they created that title for him because that's not a Sorcerer Supreme that existed prior. But now he's stuck on Asgard. So
that's I did not realize that that's what he did. That's a very CEO move to be like, oh, yeah, they fired me over at TJ Maxx as their CEO. Can I get a job at wherever Target? Yeah. It's like when they replaced the one Target CEO and they just put him back on the board of directors, and then they just pulled another board of directors and made him the CEO of Target.
That's pretty much what's going on here. But
it's friends in high places.
I like this. I like the inclusion of Angela. I think the whole thing with Heaven without the A, it's really fun and interesting. That was probably one of my favorite things to come out of that original Sin moment in Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I like that when they do stuff with it. Like I like it when they do stuff with characters they don't do a lot of stuff with, and maybe it's because of I don't know if they own Angela. I guess they do outright.
I think they traded Angela. There was some kind of like trade or something that they gave. I guess was it Neil Gaiman maybe that created Angela, or I don't know. Right. Some kind of deal where they let him do something. I think it was Mr.
Marvel,
Mr. Miracle, Mr. Miracle, Marvel Man. They let him do something there, and then he's like, "All right, you can put Angela in the Marvel universe," something like that. Yeah. I remember reading about it back in the old days.
Yeah. Which I'm also curious as a side note. I wonder. So I know DC. I don't think DC outright owns any of the Dakotaverse characters. I think those are kind of co-owned. Those are kind of co-owned by them. I wonder how the Netflix buying Warner Brothers impacts that.
Interesting. Yeah. I need to step away for a second. If you want to hit the next book, it won't take too long. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. My next book is Absolute Green Lantern #9. This book I almost quit reading about 5 issues in, but Al Ewing is always a slow burn for me when he writes. So you kind of have to give him space to finish what he's trying to say so that you could be like, oh, the end of that sentence was really good. And that's kind of where I'm at this again. We finished the first arc. The first arc finished really strong. I really enjoyed it. Now we're kind of picking up with the second arc. This is a big conversation between Jo and her ex-girlfriend. So there's a lot of drama in this relationship drama in this issue. But it was a good issue overall. I do think that Jo's ex, if an ex of mine had walked through the door glowing green with a passed out person, like the beginning of this comic happens, in the beginning of this comic that happens, I think I would react a little bit differently than what Jo's ex reacted. She was just like, oh, you're glowing green, and here's this person who's passed out on my couch, and just it felt a little weird to me, but it's overall it's still a pretty good issue, and I will still keep reading it month to month.
Yeah, I am reading this, but I'm doing the trade waiting thing. The trade actually comes out this week, so I caught up on it on the Infinite app.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to dig out all my single issues. So yeah, stay tuned. I got a video coming out about Volume 1 and why you should get it, and why it's a very underrated book when it comes to the Absolute line. Cool.
Yes.
I think I only have one more. Hold on. Oh, I guess before I do that one, I don't have the comic with me, but our friends at Mad Cave sent over a book called Cyberarchy. It's about a a robot society that has freed itself from humanity, but now it has created its own like hierarchy of power or whatever in this ship. And they bring a robot to life, but he's only got like 24 hours to live. It's a really weird kind of cool sci-fi book. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and the artist fan like whenever an artist can make robots or not organic characters like emote, and you can kind of feel it and see it through the page. I think that's really cool. So go check that out from Mad Cave. Mad Cave's doing some really fun things. And they always come out with the trade. We were talking about this yesterday as well. They're really good about like once the series is done, like the next month or two, you get the trade. There's not like you don't have to wait 6 months. I think they really are taking advantage of the fact that they got the single sales of whatever they're gonna get, so they just don't want to. They don't want to lose the momentum of like people trying to figure out the collection. So, yep, recommend that. Go check it out. I'll hopefully I can pick it up next week when I actually go to my other shop. So,
yeah.
All right. What else you got?
Break My Heart, the final issue of Birds of Prey 28. I love this cover. I don't know. I'm gonna need a deep dive into what happened to this comic. I know, and we talked about it a little bit, I think yesterday. I know Kelly Thompson has been on some podcasts that I need to catch up on, that I need to go listen to. Maybe she explains why this comic was canceled. I think it was just a numbers thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I heard her say stuff like they tried to figure out a way to rework it, and it just didn't happen. This definitely feels like she got news that she had to wrap it up by issue 28. And so we kind of have to wrap up the storyline that we're getting into. And then there's like a 2-page denouement where they're just like, well, we got to break up now because of reasons. And so it's a little unsatisfying as to how it ended, but I love the series. I wish it could have gone on at least 5 more issues to give Kelly Thompson the space to kind of,
or at least to give Leonardo Romero one last issue to kind of wrap up things in his art, right?
Yeah,
because this one's not done by Romero. So,
and it almost feels like, because there was like a big, like 3 or 4 or 5 issues ago, there was a big thing where everybody that had been in the series, all the previous iterations of the, like, Harley Quinn is no longer in the book, but she started off in the book.
Yep.
And so they brought all the characters back for this big fight, which kind of felt like it was going to be the end of the series, because that's how you end, like with a big, gigantic, whatever. But then the series kept going. It was like, oh, well, good. I'm glad. Because it definitely had this feeling of like, we're building up to the big grand ending. And then it kept going, but then it just was a little bit longer before it finally ended.
I can't wait to catch up on this. I think I stopped around 20 or so, and I just fell behind, and I was like, okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. I think this Birds of Prey run has been, first of all, a great surprise that not only did it go for so long, but that it was so good. Like overall, there was a few issues or 1 or 2 issues there that I was like, well, maybe this doesn't hit as hard, or maybe I remember there was, I think, like issue 4 where they got the first fill-in artist. I was like, oh, they did not get somebody that matches the vibe. But I think they course corrected very well. So it's really good. I can't wait to catch up on this.
Yeah. I know that I'm not a huge Birds of Prey aficionado. Like I haven't read many of I've read an issue here and there. But from what I've read, like most people are like, Gail Simone's run is like the peak Birds, but a lot of people I've read just like, oh, this is as good as Gail's. So,
it's got such a fun combination of characters, which is, I think, what really makes a lot of these books either, succeed or fail. So cool.
Yeah.
All right. This is my last book before my pick of the week. And of course, it's Batman number 4. Yeah, number 4. Which I got this one, and then yesterday at Titan I mean, not Boomerang. I got this other cover.
The special.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this. Do you see how it's kind of discolored at the top here?
Yeah.
That's
what's going
because
on
I
there?
did this.
Oh, that's the thing that you were. Yeah. You were saying.
I
See,
had
that
a
wouldn't happen
drink in
to
my
one of
hand.
the stock variant wouldn't happen to that, but
So let this be a lesson to all you comic collectors out there. If you have a drink in one hand, a sandwich in the other, and you're moving rooms while you're reading comics, don't do this. Because by
instead
the
you
time
should
you
do
get done, yeah, you should put it on your head, do underarm, maybe just set the sandwich down and make 2 trips. That's probably what I should have done.
Fold it and put it in your back pocket.
Use your teeth. Something else. I had to go buy a second. And I don't expect this to be like a collector's item or anything. I just knew that for the rest of my life, every time I saw this, it would bug the hell out of me. So I had to go buy a second issue.
Quick question from Jada Games. Red Hood is the new Batman. He's not the new Batman. Red Hood is only Batman in that one issue of Night Fight, but all the Robins are going to become Batman in that series. So just keep reading along for that. But he's not. Bruce Wayne's still main Batman in main continuity.
Bruce Wayne also game. Total game in this.
Yeah,
we got a new maybe potential love interest for Bruce, and
if you're gonna
patches
use a treadmill and you're gonna be wearing Crocs, you got to put on the little strap.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You can't just like not strap it with the Crocs, you know. So, but yeah, Bruce got game. And then that new villain, the Minotaur, with his 7 fingers. With his
tall man, 7 fingers.
I looked at the cover and I was like, that looks like a lot of fingers. And then you get to the inside of the book and I was like, oh, that's not for effect. It's not like he's moving his hand, right? It's like he actually does have 7 fingers.
What if he's AI? Well, this is just why he has all those extra fingers.
Yeah. Another quick question from Jada Gamer. Do you have any recommendations of the best digital comic apps or websites? Oh, those digital comics is in a bad place right now, unfortunately. If you just want, I mean, DC and Marvel have their own things which are pretty good. I think overall you get a lot of value, especially if you're trying to catch up on stuff like older stuff. Global Comics, I haven't really tried it much. Jeff, have you tried Global Comics?
I'm not a digital comics reader at all.
Yeah. And then I know there's this Sweet Shop is launching some beta testing, but the problem is that once Comixology went away, nothing really has filled in that void, and the Kindle comic app sucks. So
yeah.
That's all I can say of that. But yeah, Batman's really cool. I don't know what Matt Fraction's doing. He's organizing crime in a more organized fashion. And Bruce is kind of unaware of that. Still, he's trying to put the pieces together. He actually chases down our what is it? Anarchy. Yeah, I love the redesign of Anarchy since the New 52 with like the hoodie and stuff. It looks really cool. So, and then of course Jorge Jimenez drawing it even better. So yeah, that was really good. That was my last book.
It's also nice that it's unfolding slowly. Like you know, it doesn't feel like nothing's happening in the book, even though we're 4 issues into it, and we still don't really know who we've just been introduced to the bad guy, but it's more just like, you know, he's done some bad. First off, justice for Penguin's Penguin.
I know,
because a penguin does not have a good ending. But you know, this is the first time we've seen the bad guy 4 issues in. Batman's still completely unaware as to what's going on, but it feels like there's stuff we're building, like it's building blocks, and so it's fun.
It is pretty funny that in that scene where they get where the thing happens to the penguin, it's because this guy's trying to get leverage over all the crime families, but the fact that he got a penguin, that penguin's leverage is a penguin. It's really funny.
Yeah. G.I. Joe, the newest G.I. Joe. We're definitely double shipping because this feels like 2 weeks ago. I just picked this up.
We're running through the Dreadnought War.
We are running through the Dreadnought War, and this was a weird twist that I did not see coming. A little trip into some like Texas Chainsaw Massacre territory in this issue.
I don't know who that guy is, but I can't wait to read.
He's in the issue about. Road Pig or whatever his name is. I don't remember what his name is. But yeah, we get to it's a really good issue. There's hints of Cobra Commander without his mask on, all good kinds of stuff. And then I also have you're done, right?
I'm done. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The newest issue of Fantastic Four, so good. Oh my gosh, I love this. The writer of this book is so good. I hope he writes other books. That's a hint of things to come. This is the beginning of a new story arc where Galactus is looking for Sue Storm for unknown reasons, because that we find that out at the end of this book. But Ryan North makes sure to give Sue Storm her like just due at the beginning of the book, where she solves there's like a little alien invasion that the Fantastic Four have to turn they have to turn back. And Sue is the one that comes up with the solution of how to get them to go away in such a massive Sue Storm way, where she can do so much with her powers. And I love that Ryan North is exploring that with Sue Storm, where they're like, no, she's easily like Reed's the smartest one, but Sue can put all the pieces together in a way that, like she's just the best.
Yep. I agree. I can't wait to catch up on that. Before, was that your last book? That's
the last one I've read. I do have 2 things I have not read yet.
Okay, so let me go through the ones I haven't read, and then you can go through yours, and then we'll go to pick of the week. Ultimate Universe #1. I haven't read that, but I did pick it up. Okay, that's one of Jeff's. Yeah, I'm excited for this. But I'm behind on the Ultimates from last week, so I didn't want to jump into this without reading that first.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Godzilla, the #5. Yeah, #5. I think this was gonna wrap up the first arc. So yeah, this book is so cool. Tim Seeley, I love it. It's so cool. My shop had some Damage comics, which we talked about Damage comics. So they just kind of give them out. So I was able to get I got the Frank Miller cover, the Nova one. Which, I mean, I can see the Damage, like why they wouldn't sell it, but I'm like, I don't care. I'll take a free comic. Criminals back on the shelves. Speaking of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, with that, this also has that newsprinty paper quality. Yeah. So I can't wait to dig into this. And then the last thing I picked up, actually 2 things. Ultimate X-Men. We're almost at the end. Only 2 more issues to go, and I don't know if I'm ready to catch up on this and say goodbye to these characters. And then the last thing, yesterday I found out, and I don't know if you knew about this, they're reprinting the old Amalgam one-shot book. And I was like, what? How did I not know about this? Because I feel like they told me this was like the 3rd one that they done. So like I want to kind of hunt down the old ones, because I have some of the old Amalgams, but I don't have all of them. So yeah, this Spider-Boy one was that's one of my favorite designs. So I was definitely gonna get that.
I have the Super Soldier one, and I have Amazon, the Wonder Woman Storm one.
I have sure.
Don't have Dark Claw.
I have Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I think I have the Captain America one, Super Captain America. I don't know what. Yeah. But they're in a box somewhere in my garage, so it's just easier to buy them again.
Yeah. And newer. The only other thing I haven't read this week is the new Wiccan Witches Road, which I hear was good. And I did not pick it up on New Comic Book Day, but I did pick it up at Boomerang yesterday because enough people on the internet said it was good.
Let me know what you think of that, because I'm a little kind of dissatisfied with the Marvel Magic stuff that they're doing. So maybe that's why I was like, yeah, I don't care for that. But we'll see.
We'll see.
All right.
What was your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is a comic that I don't know what I did with it, but
I'll show you mine.
Thank you. It is Hulk Smash Everything. Oh my goodness. Ryan North, as Jeff mentioned earlier on the Fantastic Four, doing the Lord's work. It's such a fun book. I mean, look at that. Look at that big chunky boy kicking ass. He's just mad. It's such a dumb premise because what's his name? Mastermind?
The leader.
The leader. Thank you. The leader disguises himself as Stephen Strange, hits the Hulk with a frying pan, and that sends him on a rampage where he wants to smash Stephen Strange. And then of course Stephen Strange can't stop the Hulk. So
that reveal is so funny. Like I laughed for 3 minutes. There's this whole setup. I mean, it's just classic. This is why I love Ryan North, because it is just classic sitcom-y, kind of like old school dumb humor.
Yeah.
Where there's like 2 pages of the leader monologuing about this great plan that he has. And he's like, I just need to do the first part to get the plan interacted. And in this universe, it's an out of continuity story.
Right. Because the Hulk right now it's possessed by a demon or something.
Yeah. So in this story, Bruce Banner is teaching. He's a college professor at a university. He's teaching physics or whatever it is. And the leader's big plan is just to dress up like Stephen Strange and hit Bruce Banner with a frying pan at the end of one of his lectures. And then, of course, that it triggers him into the Hulk. The Hulk sees Dr. Strange holding a frying pan, and then the leader just runs to the Sanctum Sanctorum. And the ultimate goal is to rob the Sanctum Sanctorum. But just the fact that he gets the Hulk involved just by hitting him with a frying pan is so funny.
It's so good, dude.
So stupid. So stupid. I laughed out loud so long.
And then I won't spoil the solution that Stephen Strange had to kind of neutralize the Hulk.
Yeah.
But it's bonkers, but it's gonna create an amazing issue number 2.
Well, the solution for Stephen Strange to get rid of the Hulk, and then the solution for the leader to get rid of the Hulk again.
Oh yeah.
Is bonkers. At the end of the comic, the twist at the end of this comic, and I can see where the title Hulk Smash Everything is starting to come from.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, this is Ryan North is a genius on so many levels. Like I love that book so much.
Me too. I'm very happy with it. So yeah, that was my pick of the week. But Jeff, what is your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Justice League. What is this? The 5th issue? 4th? Yeah, 5th issue. It's all starting to come together. I love a good heist. This is like one of the best heist books I've read in a hot minute. They get on, they get to the thing. They're on the Justice League satellite. The whole setup is beautiful. Like the way that they pick their timing, the Cheetah and Cheshire and their crew to go up to the satellite and rob the satellite, like what's going on in the satellite, how they pull everything off. So good. And then, I think there's one issue left. There was a big twist at the end of this issue. The artwork in it is fantastic. I love that all the characters that Greg Rucka definitely is keeping everybody's relationships. Like Leon is Roy Harper's daughter and Cheshire's kid. So there's like a lot of talk about whether she's a good guy or a bad guy, because Roy Harper's a good guy, Cheshire's generally a bad guy. But they all know each other. So there's a moment where the people that are robbing the Justice League and some of the Justice League members like run into each other, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" Kind of like, "Why are you?" There's like some definite like, like, we've been caught by our friends. Yeah. Some family members, stuff like that, where you're like, what's going on? Yeah. I think it's a great series all over.
I'm so excited for that series because it comes to an end next issue. So then I'll finally be able to read it. So great stuff.
Definitely worth reading.
Great. All right. Let's check out our pull list real quick, and then we'll go take a look to close out the show. We'll take a look at that teaser for The Boys final season. So let's start with Jeff's. Here's Jeff's pull list from League of Comics. You can follow both of us on League of Comics. Pretty slow week for Jeff, it seems like.
Yeah.
We have Absolute Batman number 15.
With 1 million covers. That's just the A cover. Doesn't this one have like a whole bunch of covers in it?
It should. I mean, it's the Joker issue. This is the main cover by Nick Dragotta. This is the cover by Mike Mayhew.
That's
Mike Mayhew again. Of course, they just do a bunch of the same covers. Oh my god, more Mike Mayhew. This one got a lot of retailer exclusives. That's why. Godtail variant. I don't know who the artist is on this one. Dave Wilkins. Jacques. This is the one I want the most, I guess.
Oh, that's cool.
Ben Oliver. Ben Oliver, I think, does the covers for Captain America. If I remember correctly. Yeah. I think he's the artist that does the flashbacks. Because there's 2 artists on that book.
Oh, okay.
This is the Brian Boland, which, as you can see, there's 2 signatures.
That's Brian Boland?
So how this one came about, I don't know. Like, I saw Jacques talk about it. This is from a design from Jacques, because you can see both their signatures are on here. So Jacques had some like rough pencils or rough sketches of the Absolute Joker. And apparently Brian Boland asked him if he could finish the piece. So it's like, it's a Jacques design, and Brian Boland's like, hey, can you imagine? That's like if Kevin Smith had came to here and it's like, hey, can I finish your episode of the podcast? I was like, okay, yeah.
Let me edit this for you.
Say less, homie. Yeah. This is the Sanford Green. This one's really cool. I want to say I pre-ordered a bunch of these covers actually at my shop, so I don't remember if this one I pre-ordered, but this is a 1 in 25, so maybe I didn't. And then the Jacques, this is a Virgin cover. Ivan Tao. Yeah, that's why there's so many of these, because there's just like retailer incentives.
Oh, that's the Venom. That's the
Tyler
Venom Joker.
Kirkham. Yeah. Tyler Kirkham. That was so cool. This one's really cool too, by Clayman. I think they sell these on their Whatnot.
Okay.
But that one's pretty cool. Oh, you got Selena tied up in the back. Yeah, and then we're back to the main one. So. All right, let's get back to where we were. Do you have Action Comics 1093?
Nice.
Assorted Crisis number 7.
Ready to cry.
Batman and Robin 28. So this is the Philip K. Johnson will wrap up this series before, because he's not exclusive to Marvel, but I'm guessing his series is already wrapped up for here. DCKO.
Oh, that's right. He did that thing.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
DCKO Wonder Woman versus Lobo number 1. I will tell you, you might want to pick up the Aquaman 12, because that's Aquaman versus Hawkman.
Okay.
If you're trying to get all these fight things. Our Suit Stained Heart from Mad Cave Studios. Now, can I ask you how this made it onto your thing?
I don't know. Let me look.
Because I was going through our emails, and I saw that this was coming out this week, and I was like, oh, let me see if I can make. I like to review indie publishers are a little more.
It's a number 1.
Yeah, maybe indie publishers are a little more flexible with allowing me to do advanced reviews. So like on Monday or Tuesday of the week off, I like putting out their stuff. And this is one of the things that I was planning on reviewing. I haven't read it, but it's pretty chunky, and it looks really cool. So, I mean, I'm glad you're thinking of picking it up, because I think it's going to be really cool. So,
Oh yeah. I think literally, I think I was just flipping through the things, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." I think that's all. I like the cover.
It does look cool. Yep.
Yeah. It just looks
We
cool.
get
I think that's how it ended up on there.
TMNT number 13, our first issue with the new creative team, Jin Yu Yang and Freddie Williams the third. Freddie Williams has drawn the Turtles when they did the Batman Turtles crossover, so that's why it may look familiar if you have read Turtles in the past. Transformers 27, and then the penultimate issue of Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 23. So
I'm flipping through the. Well, I am flipping through the the full list, and I can see that I did not. Nova Centurion 2 comes out this week, and I'll probably pick that up. But I didn't add it to my poll because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it after the first. That might be the only other thing that I will probably also pick up.
Okay, let me switch over to my list real quick. A lot of the same stuff, but I did pre-order the Absolute Green Lantern hardcover. Volume 1 comes out this week. And then, like I said, the Hawkman versus Aquaman. This one, I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up, but I put it on here because I might talk about it. Dark Horse is releasing Arcana Royale. This is a Cullen Bunn book. The collection comes out this week. And also, I think this may have been before you joined the comic book club in Boomerang, but we read The Cape, Joe Hill's The Cape.
Oh, yeah.
The Omnibus comes out this week. And I've only read the one story we read all together, so maybe I'll read this as well. The End 2099 number 1 comes out this week. I think this might be part of a larger story that's been going on in the 2099 books. Free Planet number 7, our Suit Stained Heart, Shiver Suspense Stories from one of the anthologies from Oni Press, TMNT, Terminator, Transformers. That sounds like I'm just watching a block of
Saturday morning cartoons.
And then Spider-Man, Ultimate Wolverine, and then the trade for You'll Do Bad Things, which I'll probably pick up, but I definitely will read at least with our preview from Image. So there you have it.
I'd be interested in reading the You'll Do Bad Thing because that came out the same week. That premiered the same week as
Take Everyone Down.
Yeah, Take Everything Down with Us. And for me, I was like, one of these is going to win. It was Take Everything Down with Us is what I kept. Stayed with.
It's interesting because it's a split between the team of four kids.
Yeah,
right? This is done by Tyler Boss, and the other book is done by Matthew Rosenberg. So, all right, to close out the show, the reason I put on my headphones is because we're gonna watch a trailer and get out of here. So, let me. Now, you said you're not really current on The Boys.
No, but it's fine.
Okay. I don't think it'll have too much stuff that's like super spoilery. But we'll see. What's the best one for a trailer? Which one do we use? I think it's this one. All right. Here we go. Here's our first look at the last season of The Boys coming to Prime. I'm very excited, especially after the end of Gen V. I guess this also might have Gen V spoilers if you haven't watched that. So let's check it out. Dang. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. Really hyped for this. I like this show a lot. I've never read the original comics. I don't think I ever will. But that's okay. That's okay. Garth Ennis gets paid regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, this
looks good. I need to. I've not read any of The Boy. Like I've not done any of.
You're not a Boys at all. You didn't even check it out when it first started. Was it because you kind of knew that the comics were a little like edgelordy, over the top, or just?
Yeah, I'm not. It's not really my thing. Although they look good. And I might one day go back and watch it. I mean, I know it is edgelordy, but it's all like I'm not ironic, but it's supposed to be like that's the point, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
But
Eric Kripke, who's the showrunner and creator of the show, I mean, he did Supernatural, so like he's already had even if it wasn't a comic related thing, the fact that he's the one doing the show, I was already in.
Well, it's also the Seth Rogen production company, isn't it?
Seth Rogen, yeah. So
yeah,
I know they do good stuff. Say what you will about Preacher, that show felt like it was made with a lot of love and care, whether you enjoyed it or not, as an adaptation of the story.
Yeah.
So, and this
and Seth Rogen's I was gonna say that they're the ones doing 4 Kids. The 4 Kids movie is the same. Seth Rogen's company.
Yeah, they probably read all these comics while they were high, and they're like, "Oh, that make a good, something." So yeah, I'm excited for this.
That's the job I need. I need to go work for
can.
Seth Rogen's production company.
What do you got for me
all the time? Week? Just read comics.
What do you got for me this week, Jeff?
You want to read some Batman? Join us next week for our Seth Rogen show, where we all do Seth Rogen imitations the whole show.
The Pineapple Express edition. Very cool. All right, I think that brings us to the end of the show. Now that we've got our Seth Rogen impressions out of the way,
get ready for that clip on the Instagram.
That's right. Yeah. That's definitely a short. Make sure to, if you're watching, first of all, big shout out to Jada Gamer, who stayed with us for most of the show. I think watching both on Twitch and YouTube, getting us the views on both counts. Appreciate that. If you're watching this live or later on, make sure to check out our end of the year survey. You get to tell us what you enjoyed throughout 2025 when it comes to movies, TV shows, animated stuff, books, and then of course if you want to leave us a little message. Very exciting. I can't wait. That's one of my favorite shows that we do every year, because first of all, I can't fathom the fact that people take time out of their busy lives to actually fill out a survey for us. And then, I love seeing the data kind of come together. We already have a bunch of responses, and the results are surprising for some of these things. Now, if you don't read comics, or if you don't watch movies, or if you don't watch TV or whatever, you don't have to answer the whole thing. Just answer whatever you want. So, but yeah. Also, it's how we decide which one is our favorite streaming service of the year. So go vote for HBO Max while you still can. So
please.
Alrighty. Jeff, anything else from you?
Nope. I'm good.
I will say, go follow Jeff on TikTok, because your TikTok about the Archie series this week. I don't watch him on TikTok, but you put a lot of your stuff back on Instagram.
Yeah.
That one caught me by surprise. I was like, what the hell is Jeff doing? And then I was really into it. It's not something we could really put on YouTube because of the copyright.
Music
works differently. Yeah. But it's really, really funny. And it's really good. And it's about Archie.
And it's about Archie, the Archie comics by Mark Waid. I have a lot of, so personally, I have I'm supposed to be in California right now. I save up a whole bunch of PTO throughout the year, and then I take one big vacation. That fell apart a few months ago, but I still had all of this PTO that I'm just taking. The other layer of that is we had some shrinkage at our job, so I don't have a backup right now, so I can't really take off my full PTO, because then the company would fall apart. And even though they don't pay me very much, they were like, "Hey, about your PTO," and so I have a weird hybrid schedule for the rest of the year, where I'm basically working nothing but half days for the rest of the year.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of nice to get out of school early, I guess.
Yeah, I'm calling it my executive end of the year schedule, because this is how all the executives act at the end of the year, where they're only in for like a few hours a day, and then they take off to do whatever. So I'm like, now I can do all the weird TikTok things that I've had floating in the back of my mind forever, just at my leisure. So instead of having to do them exhausted at the end of a work day where I don't want to
cram
do them.
them all down, yeah, in the same.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Also, check us out on League of Comic Geeks. We are both on there. And I've started posting our reviews on there, so go give them some love, earn me some badges, and then we can talk comics there during the week while you wait for the show. I think that's all. We have our best stuff as well coming up soon. Comics and movies and stuff. So we'll get that scheduled out. So I don't know what we're doing next Saturday, but in the meanwhile, you can watch yesterday's show, which was a lot of fun. So I think we're gonna call it here. Thanks to everybody that watched live. Thanks to everybody that's watching later on, and you have a good rest of your day. Bye, everybody.
The most important thing in life will always be
Hail Bebo.
Peter loves you.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.
All right, bye.
Get out of here, you weirdo.